It's black and white.
Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of the Legends Never Die podcast. This is your host, Hunter Frugier, alongside co-host Matt, Wesley, and Frank on the video and audio as always. And it's been a huge week in sports. World Series basketball returns, another great week of college football and NBA. Got some fights this weekend, had fights this past weekend. So a week full of good stuff. We'll jump right in, starting with the World Series. We're watching the game right now. Astros down 1-0 in the series already, about to fall to 2-0 it looks like. Down by 8 runs in the 8th inning. Not looking good for the Stros.
Yeah, Cole got mashed in Game 1. Now Verlander Game 2. I was about to say Strasburg, but he's dealing. Dude, the Astros, I don't know, make errors uncommon. Not hitting with runners in scoring position. Not going to be good. Can't win.
It just doesn't look good. 2-0 going to Washington.
Yeah, that too. Home field's gone.
It's gonna be rough. I think it probably goes 6 or 7 still. I think Astros will get back on track. They're not gonna get swept for a pride thing. So I think it'll be a close series, but it's definitely not looking good. As a fan, I am very worried.
I don't know. Potentially I could see a sweep. The Nats bats are on fire. And who's coming up? Meatball Greinke throwing it about low 90s. Yikes. I'd be worried.
If they hit Cole and Verlander,
yeah,
they're probably gonna ding Greinke. But all right, let's get on a good note because I really don't want to talk about the Astros game right now. I'm pretty upset. NBA finally back. We'll go through a few categories, but I'm just glad it's back. Last night we got to see a battle in LA between the Clippers and Lakers. Highly anticipated matchup. Before that, Toronto and New Orleans played. Not very interesting there because Zion didn't play, but Raptors got their rings.
Ingram balled. What you talking about?
Oh, yeah, Ingram balled, but I'm not watching Pelicans games till Zion, bro.
Well,
I'll still follow them, but, yeah. The main game was the L.A. game, you know.
Yeah, that game, Kawhi dominated. LeBron looked a little old on offense. Maybe running the ones a little harder than he thinks.
He did do the ceremonial chalk toss before the game.
And then got his ass whooped.
And then didn't even drop 20. Scored 0 in the 4th.
Clippers didn't even have PG, and they got beat that bad.
It's embarrassing. But we might have seen our Western Conference Finals champion. Who's your prediction this season for the finals?
I'd have to go with Kawhi and PG. I'm taking the Clippers.
Clippers win it all. I agree. Who do you got them matched up against? I got Clippers 76ers. I know we're probably going to differ here. I like what the 76ers got going for sure.
See, I thought about taking 76ers, but I'm not sure because if Ben Simmons doesn't have a way better jump shot, they're not going nowhere. So I got the Raptors. I like them. They're a really complete team. They got a lot. Their starting five's really good. Van Fleet, Siakam, just got the new contract balling. Lowry and Gasol.
I like the starting five more for 76ers. Harris, Embiid, Simmons.
What if Embiid goes down?
Horford. That's what happens if he goes down. All right, so we'll start with our top 5 preseason power rankings. First off, I have Clippers. I'm sure you could agree there.
Yeah, I got Clippers 1.
2, kind of a surprise to a lot of people probably, and because I'm a fan, obviously I'm going to go with the Rockets. I went real Western Conference heavy in this top 5.
Of course. Western Conference is the better conference, just like last year in the playoffs. The 8th seed on the East was 500. 8th seed on the West was 14 games over 500. They're just better.
I
want it to move to a top 16 playoff, not East and West.
Oh, yeah, they should definitely do that. Should have been done that. Who you got at 2?
I got the Rockets.
Same. All right, Rockets
I got
at 2.
Lakers at 3, though.
I got Lakers at 3 as well. They're going to eventually get it going. I mean, look at their roster, full of stars. Just give it time. First game, played a tough team who we just said we think is going to win it all. You know they'll end up mashing
Probably best defense in the league, too.
Who?
Clippers?
Oh, yeah.
Definitely.
4 out of 5 starters are all NBA defensive.
Yeah.
First team or second team. 3 first team, 1 second team is their defense. So, yeah. They just have a formula to win it all for sure. Clippers, Lakers have a chance, like you mentioned, Rockets. And then my 4 seed's going to be 76ers. So I think it's going to win out East, most likely.
I got Raptors in the 4.
Raptors at 4, so also your Eastern Conference favorite. And then 5, I wouldn't be surprised if we had the same team, the Warriors. I just can't leave them out. Dynasty, it may be over, but I think they're still a playoff contender for sure.
They expect Klay to miss the season. That's why I was kind of skeptical. If they would have had Klay Thompson, they would have been my 4. But Curry's probably going to have a MVP candidate caliber year for sure. So he's going to carry him.
Speaking of that, the next question I was going to ask, who is your MVP candidate? Because mine is actually Curry. That's who I'm going with. I think he's going to score like 33, 35 a game. He's going to put up Harden-type numbers.
I can see it, especially with MJ saying he's not a Hall of Famer yet.
Yeah, come on, bro. Best shooter we'll ever see, not Hall of Fame. Come on now. But I heard he's leaner. He's in the best shape physically and mentally.
Whatever.
All this stuff, they always say that, but I don't know,
I'm about to say they always
say that, but I'm going Curry. First overall pick in fantasy basketball, probably going Curry. Probably going Curry.
I like Kawhi as my MVP. Just overall, the best player in the league, so why not? I would say Harden, but that's just too easy.
He's probably the favorite. I'd like to see
35 points a game.
I'd like to see that, and I'm just looking forward to see what happens this NBA season. So, looking forward to that. We'll see how it plays out first week. Tomorrow's a good matchup. We've had a good matchup with Lakers and Clippers. Tomorrow we'll see Bucks and Rockets, both with the season opener.
That is nice.
That's going to be a good game. We'll see how Russell Westbrook plays with the Rockets. Of course, I'm hoping for the best. Can't wait. Can't wait for the NBA season. Can't freaking wait. But let's get to what we always talk about, NFL. Major news this week, a couple trades. Give us the breakdown on what's going on. Trade deadline nearing October 29th.
You got Sanu to the Pats, which is huge with Josh Gordon hitting the IR. So that made that trade almost a mandatory for the Patriots. Then you got Emmanuel Sanders to the 49ers. I think this is the better of the two trades for me because Shanahan's an offensive genius. He's going to find him a way to just – he's going to be that guy. He's going to be their gadget guy.
So that's the two big trades. A few other smaller trades cooking, but a lot of rumors. Biggest rumor that I've heard so far, A.J. Green possibly going to the Packers.
For the Packers, it would be great if he got healthy. But they've already got Devontae Adams out. So they do need help. But
Bengals might trade away for some draft picks, man. I'm telling you.
He's so injury prone.
But they need him bad. A late rounder, second, third.
Damn.
Yeah,
for
it's
A.J.
a shame.
Green, huh?
Yep. Also, I heard Bengals might trade away Tyler Eifert and a good fit for him, New Orleans. They're saying a 5th, 6th round pick, and not next year, but the year after.
He's
New Orleans,
just a red
definitely
zone target.
Yeah, I'd give it up. I mean, with Jared Cook hurt, New Orleans could definitely use him for sure.
I heard Brees could come back this week. That means Bridgewater would be able to move to backup QB, and Taysom Hill would move to tight end.
Yeah, I have heard that as well. I've also heard other big trade news. Melvin Gordon to Buffalo, possibly.
I would like it
that would be
their
huge.
play style fits Melvin Gordon. He has to get repeated carries over and over. He's like a bruiser almost.
And then the last but not least, Trent Williams. We hadn't talked about him much. He's been sitting out all year. Arguably the best left tackle in the entire league. If you don't know, he plays for Washington Redskins. He's a bull. He's definitely worth a first-round pick from what I've heard. Washington, I think, deal him at this point for sure. Deal him to the worst team that wants him, Cleveland.
Cleveland don't have a first-round pick to give.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, they do. They got some first-round picks still to give. And that's the position they need the most. They've been cycling out offensive linemen all season, and look where it's got them. They look awful.
They need to call Joe Thomas back and get him back out there. I wouldn't be opposed to getting a left tackle to protect Baker, but I don't know. They could probably do something a little less costly.
Yeah, that's true. But a lot will happen over the next few days with the NFL trade deadline. By the time next week's show airs, I'm sure a lot will have happened. A few teams will look quite a bit different. But in the first week, Jalen Ramsey, he played well. Marcus Peters had the game-sealing pick 6 for the Ravens. So he performed
Russell Wilson's
well.
First interception of the year.
Yep. Of course, when I put buku money on Seahawks, freaking Russell Wilson plays like crap.
You remember that show we were watching? He was like, a good bet to take Russell Wilson to not throw an interception. Next fucking game. What does he do? Throws an
Jinxed 'em.
interception.
Jinxed him. Moving away from the trades, you had mentioned earlier, we got some injuries and some players coming back. Most notably, obviously, Drew Brees trying to come back this week versus the Cardinals. I don't know. The way Bridgewater's playing right now, 5-0 as the starter, I'd let Bridgewater go ahead and take care of the Cardinals in their little 3-game win streak. Let Brees come back after the bye week, and it'll already be week, what, 9? It'll be week 10. When Brees comes back, he'll finish out the last 6 games of the season. Saints will get the number 1 seed, and he'll play 3 playoff games. Have a nice 9-10 game championship season. Perfect.
I've been saying this. Okay, Bridgewater's what, 6-0 is the starter now, or 5-0? It's 5-0 or 6-0. I'm saying possibly leave him in.
I agree. I'd leave him in for
Not
sure.
for this week. I'm talking about for the rest of the go.
You're crazy.
It ain't,
Stop
bro.
it.
Look, they just put 36
Bro,
on Chicago. Best defense in the league.
What are they going to do with Brees? You're sitting here saying that Teddy Bridgewater's better than Drew Brees,
Dude.
basically. I'm calling you nuts. Stop it. Stop it.
I mean,
Stop.
they're doing pretty much the same thing.
Bruh,
Brees was
they would be doing
bro.
better.
How
Bruh.
how much better?
Better. Just better, period. I mean, you can't get much better
don't
when
know.
you're the best, but they
I don't
would
know
be
if
better.
they would do better.
You're crazy, bro. The game is different with Brees in there.
I don't know.
No Kamara, no Brees. So you're saying, I guess,
They put
Latavius Murray's better than Kamara
No,
then, too, huh?
definitely not.
Yeah, exactly.
They
That's
put
like
up
your
36 on the
this
Bears
ain't-
with no
bro,
Kamara.
Teddy Bridgewater to Drew Brees. This is not apples to apples, bro. Come on now. All right, I'm moving on. Matt's having a little psychological something going on here. I don't know. But we'll bust into our power rankings for NFL. We gave them for NBA already. So, first off, I'm going with the Hoodats. Like I just said, best team in the NFL for sure,
You
in my
finally
opinion.
swapped from last week. You
Yep.
still had Pats
I
at 1
swapped
last
over.
week.
I've swapped over. I'm not seeing these same ghosts that Sam Darnold's
Yeah,
seeing. I think Patriots are a flake. That's why I have
Their
them number.
defense.
That's why I have them number 2. They're a flake.
Listen to this about the Patriots. If their offense hadn't touched the field all season, they'd still be 3-3-1. What the
Yeah,
hell?
that's nuts. That's insane. So they've allowed 0 points 3 times
Yeah,
or 4 times.
probably.
That's crazy. Patriots number 2. Saints number 1. Number 3, San Fran. I'm sure you have the same
Yeah,
top
that's
3.
the same 3. That's what I had last week.
Same 3 in order. Number 4, I'm going off on one right here this week.
Let's see what you got.
The Ravens.
I like the Ravens.
Give me the mic for a second. Ravens just beat Seattle. Lamar Jackson right now has more yards, 2,300 scrimmage yards, than 10 teams by himself. He has more scrimmage yards than 10 complete NFL teams right now. He's number 1 in yards per carry. He's a top rusher in the league. This kid's Michael Vick, but better. I really think he is already in his second year better than Michael Vick, and that's scary. So I got Ravens at 4.
I wouldn't say
I
he's
think you
better.
could put Ravens up any given Sunday and beat somebody. Wouldn't be surprised if they break New England's undefeated record. I would not be surprised if Baltimore beats New England in Baltimore in a couple
They
weeks.
will not beat New England. You are crazy.
So who's going to beat New England then? Their schedule's trash.
Nobody.
Somebody's beating them. They're not going
I promise
16
you
and
they
0.
won't. Not with that defense.
I think the defense is overhyped. Put them against the Saints, we beat their ass.
Oh, definitely. I was telling one of our buddies that this weekend. He was like, Saints, Patriots for the Super Bowl. I was like, yeah, Saints would win too. Easy. But anyways, for my 4, I got Indianapolis.
Oh, the Colts. Brissett just shredded a nothing Houston secondary. And
Beat
now
the
Matt
Chiefs
throws them
and
into his top 5.
Beat the Chiefs and the Texans.
And lost to who? Who are their 2 losses?
The Raiders.
And the Chargers, I believe.
Yeah.
The Raiders and the Chargers.
It
And
was
they're in your
early.
top 4. Come on, man. Come on, man. Number
They
5.
got it now.
Number 5, I'm going with Packers. You're probably going same. Aaron
Yeah, I got
Rodgers, 6 touchdowns last week, jumped himself right back into the MVP race,
Yep.
and he's doing this without his best receiver, Devontae Adams. This man is just simply the man.
He had a good game. I'll give him that. It's the Raiders. Calm down. Pump the brakes.
The same Raiders that beat your Colts.
Hey, they're okay. And that game was in no, that game wasn't in London. I'm sorry. They played the Bears in London. I forgot. But yeah.
So who's your 5?
Packers. I mean, he had 6 touchdowns, but you know Rodgers, he's greedy as hell. He's probably getting 1-yard touchdowns. And he got Valdez Scantling threw a screen, took it 80 yards. He ain't doing nothing.
So Packers at 5, that rounds out both of our power rankings. The only difference we have there is the 4. I have the Ravens, Matt has the Colts, and that'll bring us into the NFL recap. We'll start with Thursday night's game in Mile High Stadium in Denver. Kansas City versus Denver. It was a trap game. Kansas City won 30-7 with a backup quarterback, Matt Moore, who hadn't played in years. Patrick Mahomes goes down. We know what's the update on Mahomes right now.
He's already back at practice with a dislocated knee. That's what his diagnosis was. But, yeah, he's already back at practice. They said he was pretty limited, but still, they expected him to not even be practicing for at least 2 to 3 weeks. So to already be back, that's pretty huge.
Well, it does not surprise me. Mahomes is magical. Good performance by the Chiefs. They were definitely in a hostile environment. Game could have went both ways. They went in there and got the blowout. Next game up, we had Rams, the new-look Rams, now with Jalen Ramsey, a little added swagger on their team. Go out, put up 37 on offense. Gurley comes back with a receiving touchdown. Put up 37. Defense plays great. Allows the trash Falcons to 10 points. Falcons might be as bad as the Dolphins.
They're one step ahead of the Dolphins, but they're pretty bad. Julio Jones even came and stood up for Dan Quinn, said it wasn't on him.
Oh,
but,
my gosh.
I mean, hey, something's got to change. You're 1-5.
Somebody's got to eat shit, you know?
Yeah, and it ain't Julio Jones. So.
And one team that just continues to eat shit, Miami, loses another game by 10 points. Buffalo beats them 31-21. The scoreboard was a lot worse. Miami put up some trash points at the end of the game there, and that was really it. Not much. It was Miami-Buffalo. They scored a lot more points than expected, but overall, boring-ass game.
Something I hadn't seen in a very long time. Onside kick was recovered for a touchdown by Buffalo. They returned it for a touchdown.
I did see that. Another boring game next. We had Jaguars with the 27-17 victory. Bengals, possibly the only team worse than Miami and Washington, are on that same level. The Bengals, terrible.
I know you didn't watch the game, so I'm going to ask you a question. Joe Mixon, over-under 10 rushing yards.
Under, because you asked me.
Yeah. What in the hell?
Fournette, over-under 130.
Probably over.
Over.
Dude, he has been killing it.
NFL
Contract year
StatCast.
for him.
Oh, yeah. NFL StatCast, I love when they show the top speeds for the top 5 plays of the week. These dudes get up over 20 miles an hour in full pads, bro. Fournette had like a 30-yard carry. That boy got up to 22 miles an hour. Number 1 for the week. 22 miles an hour at 250 pounds, dude.
Bro.
Coming at you.
Imagine being the safety coming downhill trying to hit that.
Imagine being the countless defenders that he ran over in college when he was at LSU. That boy would put people on a highlight reel, son.
I'd be less embarrassed for sure.
But another good performance from Jags and Fournette. They're just getting it done, staying around that 500 clip and just praying on the Colts and Texans to keep beating up on each other and hoping they lose. Jags, I don't think they stand a chance, but boring game, good performance.
Whenever Foles comes back for them, do you think they keep in Minshew or no?
I think it's back to Foles. They paid him for a reason. Next game, Minnesota-Detroit. Minnesota put an absolute ass-whooping. Dalvin Cook, thank you, won me 2 more leagues in fantasy. I'm now 6-1 and 5-2, first place in both leagues, thanks to Christian McCaffrey and Dalvin Cook. Y'all performed, and y'all are beast. Thank you, and a good win for Minnesota.
Dalvin Cook, I want to hear some about Kirk Cousins.
I want to hear some about Stephon Diggs.
Bruh.
Picked him up off the waiver wire in one of my leagues. Someone dropped him when he started the season with 5 games in a row with under 10 fantasy points. Someone dropped him. I scooped him up. I said, I'll stash Diggs. Started him last 2 weeks in my flex, over 140 yards both games, and a 48.5-point performance in one of them with 3 touchdowns.
He's going to do even better this week with Thielen going out.
Diggs, great pickup. I might sell him off. I really need a tight end.
No.
I need a tight end to complete my team in this league, but I have Edelman and Evans along with him.
Dude,
with Diggs.
you ought to trade Mike Evans.
And A.J. Green if he gets traded somewhere good. And Kareem Hunt coming off suspension.
You ought to trade Mike Evans.
I should. If somebody would take him.
Dude, if this week, if he has about a 20 to 25 point week, you ought to try to dish him before he drops a 0. Fucking inconsistent
I will.
as hell.
So next game, 42-20. Green Bay absolutely destroys Oakland. The rookie Josh Jacobs for Oakland does go for 130.
The bright spot of the Raiders.
Yeah, the only bright spot. Their jerseys are even black. They suck. Raiders get downed, looking terrible. Nothing to say here, really. Bad performance by them. Good offensive showing by Rodgers.
It was a game there for a while until Derek Carr tried to run in for a touchdown and ended up fumbling into the end zone and getting a touchback. That really changed the tide of the game, and the Packers took over from right then.
Next game, great AFC South matchup. Indianapolis at home versus Houston. We both took Houston last week. We figured it'd be a good game. Deshaun Watson, not clutch at all. That's going to keep them out of the playoffs this year, I think, or getting them quickly eliminated. Hell no, they lost the game 28-23. He had 2 chances to drive down and win the game and threw an interception both times. How's he clutch?
You're not going to get it every time.
Yeah, but you get 2 options to win the game, and neither of them you fail. You're not clutch if you fail, Matt, constantly. It's that simple, bro.
What about against the Saints game 1 where he threw the touchdown in 3 plays? Was that clutch?
Did they put a W on the column?
That ain't his fault.
Did they put up an L or a W?
That game they
then
dropped
he
the
ain't
L.
clutch. Clutch is people who win, bro.
Bruh.
Winners are clutch.
If the defense blows it, the quarterback can't go out there and play too.
Well, all I know is Houston picked up Conley from the Raiders, a former first-round overall pick, to fill some holes they have, and hopefully he could perform well because their secondary is going to hurt them. Their secondary is keeping them out. They should have paid Honey Badger or something. I don't know, but that was a good game, decent game. Next game, we had Arizona 27-21 victory over New York Giants. Saquon Barkley came out with Daniel Jones. I figured it was going to be a good game. Arizona surprised me and won the game easily. Edmonds with the 3 touchdowns, the running back there. And just another good performance from Arizona with Kyler Murray not having to do much.
Arizona's won 3 in a row. Not that they're going to be able to do anything with that because of the division that they're in. But 3 in a row is 3 in a row. Everybody was hating on, what's his name, Kingsbury. And Kyler Murray, look, one of the top offenses in the league. Every game this weekend was an absolute slop fest. Rain everywhere. I would have loved to see Saquon out there with Daniel Jones on a actual good day.
Well, we'll get to see it soon.
The ankle was killing him. You could still tell.
Yeah, well, he needs to sit it out because they're not getting a playoff spot most likely. But the next game, best game of the day, man, this was so fun to watch, dude. San Francisco versus Washington, 9-0. What a freaking game. Wow.
Robbie Gould for MVP.
Dude, that Jimmy Garoppolo is so fun to watch. It's unreal.
Jimmy G's 14-2 and 16 starts.
Yeah, but he's boring to watch.
You're talking about a winner.
Yeah, he is a winner, but he ain't clutch.
But he's a winner, so he must be clutch. That's what you just said, ain't it?
Yeah. Well, flipping the script there. Jimmy G, I don't know. That's why I have San Francisco at my number 3 because he's going to have to prove to me that they're going to be able to pass the football because they're not going to be able to put up points with New Orleans, New England, even some of the teams in their division. I think Seattle would beat them or will beat them.
No.
I
Nick
think
Bosa's
so.
an animal. That
defense is only going to get you so far.
Shit.
They're not going to shut out Seahawks, Rams. They just played the Rams.
And they'll
play them when they're
7.
healthy. Yeah, they'll play them when they're healthy, though. Next go-around will be a better game. I'm not knocking San Francisco, but I'm not sold on Jimmy Garoppolo for sure. That's a fact.
He's all right. He's a game manager for sure as of right now. Hopefully with picking up Sanders, they'll let him unleash a little more, get Kittle involved. But they're so stuck on running the football that he can't.
I agree. Next game, pretty boring. 2 teams that are 2-5 now and pretty irrelevant. Yeah, Tennessee and the Chargers. Melvin Gordon looks like trash. I have him stashed on my fantasy bench from now on. He's terrible. Fumbles the ball on the 1-yard line to win the game. Exactly what we were just talking about. Not clutch. Should have left
That whole
Eckler in.
sequence was just dumb as hell. By
Oh,
the
you're
Chargers,
telling me
dude.
when I had Chargers money line and Chargers
Oh no!
and Chargers to win by between 1 and 6 points, would have won by 4.
No,
Bro, there was 30 seconds left in the game and they're on the 1 yard line and get stopped 4 plays in a
Yeah,
row.
I know. They should.
How is that possible?
After getting stopped 3 times, I'm kicking the damn field goal.
After getting stopped 3 times, I'm calling Vegas and asking them, can I have my money back for them rigging this damn game so hard? What the fuck was that? There's no other way to put it, dude. I was pissed. I lost so much on that game. Seattle game, lost a lot too, so we'll go ahead and get that shit show out of the way. Baltimore goes into Seattle, wrecks these boys. I have hundreds of dollars on a teaser bet, a plus 11, the game to be over under 38. 2 elite high-scoring offenses. Surely they're going to hit 38. Took a pick 6 in the final minutes for them to cover, so thankfully they did, but Seattle did not play up to par. They did not play up to a top 5 team, and that's why they got bounced out of the top 5 this week.
That is why they got bounced.
And that's why Ravens got busted in, because they played well. Lamar Jackson running that football, dude, is something to watch.
Dude,
He is getting fun to watch.
The most elusive player I've ever actually watched.
They said Baltimore this year is going to shatter the NFL record for rushing yards. Shatter
Easily.
it as a team. They have thousands of rushing yards already, and we're not even halfway through the season.
You think Lamar Jackson could get maybe 1,300? 1,200, 1,300?
He could get 3,500 and 1,000, which I don't think's ever been done. 3,500 and 1,000 rushing. 1,000 rushing ain't been done in tens of years. A long time, dude.
Mike Vick never had 1,000 yards rushing?
He had 1,000 maybe early 05 Vic. Madden 05 Vic probably had 1,000 rushing yards.
04, boy.
04. But all right, bouncing into the next game. New Orleans, Chicago. Who dat showed up, sealed the deal. I ain't got to say much besides we kicked ass. Best team in the league going up against an elite Bears defense. We dropped 35 points. It seemed like we scored every possession.
Without
Defense
Kamara.
showed up. We should have won this game by 25 points plus. Bears are lucky they scored the 2 junk time touchdowns on the onside kicks because we whipped their ass. No other way to put it.
It was pretty bad. I'm thinking it's time for the Bears to move on from Trubisky.
Already?
I think he's a bust.
Already?
Dude, yeah. He had a decent season towards the end last year, but now he don't even look like the same guy.
What
Not
about
even
Bridgewater to the Bears?
Let's do it. Makes Bears a contender immediately.
Bridgewater to the Bears. You heard it here first.
Saints
It
will
could-
never trade him.
Saints are going to have to get rid of him, dude.
Dude.
He'll be a starting quarterback next year. Brees don't retire. Bridgewater's leaving NOLA. That's a fact. He is not going to sit on the bench 2 years in a row when this many teams need quarterbacks. There's no way.
I mean, who needs quarterbacks that bad?
Dude, Washington. Darnold's
Oh,
gonna
yeah, Washington.
Darnold's
yeah,
gonna
definitely.
bust eventually. Miami is freaking in dire need.
They're drafting a quarterback next year.
Do you draft a quarterback or would you rather a surefire Teddy Bridgewater?
I'm drafting.
No, I don't know. Look how the drafts went recently. We're sitting here talking about all these number ones being bust.
Yeah, because they didn't pick who they
Rosen
should've
bust,
picked.
Mayfield bust.
Yeah, Rosen, we all knew he was a California soy boy. He was soft. we all knew.
California soy boy. All right, next game up, Philly, Dallas. Very surprised here. Matt, are you back a Cowboys fan? I've been waiting to ask. Let us know. Are you a Cowboy?
I'm not sold yet. The Eagles suck. I can't believe it. I'm still sick about losing to the Jets. I got to be honest. Granted, defense finally got some takeaways this week. Really got after Wentz, and Robert Quinn is a top 5 defensive end in the league right now. I don't care what you say. Watch the game. He was on Wentz's ass the whole night. That Zeke gonna eat like always. Amari Cooper. Dude.
This boy's getting passionate over here about it. You're 100%
Dude, we
question
finally scored some
answered.
points.
Question answered. You are back a Cowboys fan.
I'll
Congratulations,
classify
Matt.
myself as a hypocrite for this week.
Oh,
I don't
my
know.
goodness. All right, next and last game of the week. Not going to say much here aside from the Patriots 33-0 victory. Wow. 0 points. Sam Darnold has 5
That
turnovers,
defense, boy.
4 interceptions. What a joke.
That's my fantasy defense right there. I'm loving that.
I'm sure they are carrying your team. But that's it for the recap this week. That's it for the recap there. Now we'll get into the preview for this week's games. We'll fly through our picks real quick. Thursday night, Washington at Minnesota. Give me Minnesota by 500.
Yeah, Vikings easy. Start anybody that you have on there for fantasy.
Next up, Seattle, Atlanta to kick off the Sunday. Seattle easy.
Yeah.
Russell Wilson might have a career day.
Seattle definitely easy.
All our daily fantasy players, Russell Wilson.
No,
He's that
Chris
guy
Carson.
this week. Chris Carson, also that guy. I got both of them in fantasy.
Yeah, bet.
Beast. Going to be a good week for Seattle fantasy owners. Next up, Philly at Buffalo. Game at Buffalo. Give me Buffalo. It hurts to say that. Give me Buffalo, though. Doug Peterson, embarrassment this week. Zeke said we don't give a
definitely.
Zeke said we don't give a F what Doug Peterson says. What you think about that?
I think he screwed his team over. He had Dallas hyped up. But I'm taking Buffalo too. I was 50-50 tossing up, but I just kept thinking back to that Sunday night game. I was like, dude, the Eagles look like shit.
Another team that looked like shit, the Bears this week versus the Saints. We talked about it earlier. This week they're back at home again to face the Chargers, who've also been terrible. Oh, man. I guess give me the Bears because Melvin Gordon looks like trash. So they're going to stop the run. Rivers is going to have to throw. Keenan Allen injured. I don't know, man. I like the odds.
That's great for me.
I like the odds for Chicago.
I got Hunter Henry. He's about to eat this week. But look for Khalil Mack to probably have 2 or 3 sacks because the Chargers couldn't block me and you.
I agree. Next up, Lions, Giants. This game, take the over, 45, 46, 50. Giants, Lions, go over 9 times out of 10.
Yeah.
Always a good game for some reason when they play. Man, give me the home team, Detroit. Detroit's at home, so give me Detroit.
I'm changing my pick since you went with Detroit. Give me the Giants.
Uh-oh, going against me. Next game up, Tampa Bay at Tennessee. Tampa Bay coming off the bye this past week. I think they bounce back, get a good win against Tennessee, who almost just lost to the Chargers.
Tennessee's trash.
So Tampa Bay getting back on the win column there. Next up, Denver at Indianapolis. Indy just handles the Texans. They'll easily handle the Broncos.
This is going to be a blowout, son. If
think?
you don't think this is going to be a blowout, you're mistaken.
Colts, Denver blowout. Trap game.
Denver
Might be a trap
probably won't
game.
even score if Colts keep it up. Really, though, if the Chiefs are holding you to 6 points, what are the Colts going to hold you to?
Negative.
Psh, I wish.
They'll get a safety.
That don't give you negative.
Makes you feel negative, though.
I was
Makes you feel
confused.
negative. Next up, Rams, Cincinnati. Give me the Rams. Easy.
Yeah, Rams, easy.
Sorry,
Donald,
Devin. Not this week.
Dude,
not
Aaron
next
Donald,
week. Not
can't wait.
any week. I'm sorry, Devo. Cincinnati, graveyard.
You think either one of these teams, Dolphins or Bengals, going to go 0-16?
Dolphins could.
Dude, no
I don't know if the
way.
Jets can beat the Dolphins twice, though. That's the only thing going to hold the Dolphins from
Dude,
going
if they
0-16.
go 0-16, I'm going to laugh my ass off. I can't even stand it.
They're tanking for Burrow. I'm starting a new hashtag, tank for Burrow.
Burrow has to get to NOLA. Has to.
That would be legendary. All right, next up, speaking of legendary, New Orleans at home. Bring him to the Dome. We going to get it on. Tyler Murray, who cares? Saints by 90.
Saints, easy.
Saints on the money,
With
easy.
my boy Teddy.
Saints by 10, Saints by 20, dirty 30. Give me the Hoodats. Easy. Saints by 90, yes. Jets, Jags. Give me the Jags.
Jags. I like Fournette to roll.
Nothing else to say here. San Francisco, Carolina. Very intriguing matchup. Carolina, we know, undefeated with Kyle Allen at quarterback. Playing good. Coming off a bye week.
Weeks the week.
To San Francisco. Give me Carolina with the 5.5 point upset this week.
Nope.
Give me Carolina over the Niners.
I'm taking Niners. That
All right.
defense is too good. Shut down McCaffrey.
All I
It's
know is
over,
I'm
dude.
taking Carolina plus 16.5.
100%.
I think it's going to be a close game, and I think Carolina somehow grinds it out. We're going to see. Can McCaffrey be stopped by San Fran easily?
Tampa Bay shut them down twice, so why can't the best defense in the league?
That's arguable. Next up, New England. Speaking of the best defense in the league, New England versus Cleveland. Give me New England easy.
Come on.
I saw New England's upcoming schedule. If Ravens don't beat them, nobody's beating them. Their schedule, weak.
They got to play the Chiefs.
Their schedule, like China, weak. Had to throw that in.
Facts.
Next up, Oakland, Houston. I know you're going with New England. I cut you off.
Yeah.
Unless you're going with the upset of a century over here.
Fuck no.
We'll go ahead to the next game. Houston at Oakland. Career day for Deshaun Watson. Houston fantasy owners start him. Pick up homeboy off the bench. Fuller's hurt, so pick up, what's his name?
Stills.
That protest. Stills, you're garbage. Actually, don't pick you up. Really wish Texans would cut you, but Houston wins this game easy.
Yeah, Houston beats the Raiders, no problem.
Good Sunday night game.
think.
If Mahomes plays, I don't know if
way
he
he
is
plays.
going to play. I really don't believe so. Matt doesn't either. So I'm going to go with the Packers.
If he plays, Andy Reid is dumb, but he's not dumb, so there's no way he plays. He's
So
not
you're
gonna
going with
risk
Green
it.
Bay?
Dude, they have a chance to win the Super Bowl, and your division is trash. Why risk it?
Yeah.
You're guaranteed a spot almost.
For sure. So are you going Green Bay?
Of course.
All right, Monday night game, Pittsburgh, Miami. Lame. Pittsburgh,
Yep.
dub.
Pittsburgh. Does Rudolph come back this week? I don't know.
Hopefully.
I haven't heard really anything about his concussion.
He's probably still knocked out. Next up, we'll jump into college football. Finally, a lot of news and recaps. The Tua injury, the biggest news of all. Alabama quarterback, obviously Tua, Heisman frontrunner, one of. Big game versus LSU
Dude.
coming up in 3 weeks. Will
He's
he
not
be
gonna be
back in
ready.
time?
I don't think he will.
He said he's 100% playing, though.
Yeah.
He said
They
no way
said
he
that
doesn't play versus LSU.
Whenever he had the same ankle surgery and he had to go play Georgia, how did he play?
Still beat him.
You mean Hurts came in and saved their ass and beat them?
I really like that he's injured. I hate to say that. That sounds so fucked up, but hell yeah. He's down.
Oh,
and
you're an ass.
Yeah, I'm an ass. I'm sorry. Forgive me, but I could care less. It's Alabama. We got to beat them this year, and what better way than the quarterback to be hurt? So if you ask me if I'm upset, does this face look like I'm upset? Not
By
at all.
any means, huh?
I'm not upset at all. Other big news, LSU lands the top recruit. A top recruit today, steal him away from Georgia and Alabama and all the other teams. He's a Georgia local, born and raised. He's the number 1 tight end and the number 12 overall player. Great blocking and catching tight end. Top 12 overall, number 12 overall in the ESPN 300. And you're a tight end, I bet you're pretty damn good. So good pickup for LSU there. And that's really all the news. And the big rumors. The big coaching rumors.
Urban Meyer might be venturing to the NFL.
Urban Meyer and Harbaugh, I hear.
Yeah, Harbaugh's a joke. Can't even beat Ohio State.
He may need some professionals, bruh.
Maybe.
Shit, he almost won a Super Bowl.
Almost. So it don't matter.
So what's the news with Meyer?
They
Possibly.
said there's rumors about the Dallas job. I'm saying sign them up. Bye, Jason Garrett. We need Urban Meyer.
Someone that'll bring a winning culture.
Yeah.
Other big news, we'll get into the review of the games. First off, Wisconsin, overrated.
Trash.
Fooled everybody. Lost to Illinois, who are 2-4.
Yeah.
Wisconsin,
That's really it.
super weak. Other game recaps, Oregon wins a Big 12 Pac-12 matchup against Washington, 35-31. They had to come from behind. I think they were down at 1.17. Came back and won, and now Oregon's back in the top 10, so back relevant. Only game they lost this season was to number 9 Auburn, first game of the year, and Auburn come back and beat them. Auburn didn't even truly beat them that
doesn't
good.
have the juice in it to get them into the top 4, so it doesn't matter.
But they'll definitely be a New Year's 6, I'm sure.
Yeah.
And they're going to make for a hell of a bowl game with a potential number 1 overall pick. He's still up there on a lot of boards at number 1, surprisingly.
Are you serious?
Yeah, surprising.
I'm not with it.
I'm not with it. Other news, Baylor wins again, starts 7-0
Undefeated.
for the first time in a while. They moved up into the top 15 now with a big road win at OK State. They were the underdog in this game. I bet them heavy. Freaking won. Good win there, but I'm still down hundreds of bucks, so don't let me fool you by acting like I won some cheese. But good win for Baylor there. And a huge win for Penn State at home versus Michigan.
Dude.
They played very good, had to make the game close down in crunch time, but Penn State's a threat for sure.
Did you watch the game?
Yeah, I watched it.
Did you see the play in the very beginning? It wasn't called a touchdown, but the play was a touchdown. The dude for Michigan ran across the middle, caught it, got fucking hammered. Ball pops up in the air. His dude catches it, runs it in.
Yeah, yep. I seen it.
Craziest touchdown I've ever seen. That'll never count. That shit was wild.
I remember seeing that. It was crazy.
I do like Penn State, though.
Man, they're solid. At home, they're going to have to play at Ohio State this year, though.
But can they beat Ohio State?
Yeah, at Ohio State.
I don't think so.
Can Wisconsin beat Ohio State at Ohio State this year? I do not think so.
Damn, Ohio State got a lot of games at home that are big, huh?
Yeah.
Must be nice.
Yeah. Biggest game of the week, though, we already know. Number 2, them Tigers, baby. At home versus number 9, Auburn. Bo Nix, the quarterback. Bo Nix, Chex Mix, Trail Mix. Tigers by 90. Once again, don't care. The kid is a fool for saying that he's going to come to Death Valley, and it's not that big of a deal. He said, look what I did week 1. Look what I did week 1 versus Oregon. Pac-12 Oregon. Joke. Tigers are going to have it set out in their minds to destroy these boys. The spread is 11 for LSU. Easy money. Easy money.
Going in the teaser.
Easy money.
I also think it's going to be a blowout.
LSU's just that squad, dude.
They're the best
healthy
offense
right
in
now.
the league.
They're healthy right now, full throttle. About to get Terrence Marshall back, who is actually, before the season started, our number 1 receiver above Chase and
Jefferson.
I can't wait to get him back.
Burrow's going to be throwing for 500.
Oh, yeah. Burrow looking like a Heisman candidate, and that's why I have LSU number 1 in my power ranks right now.
Oh, yeah, I'd agree.
LSU number 1, Bama number 2.
Nope.
I'm going Bama number 2 still. I don't think they could lose to anyone but LSU. So if you lose to the best, I still got to have you on my top 4. So LSU, Bama, Ohio State, and I'm kicking Clemson to the curb. I've lost faith.
Really?
Dude, Trevor Lawrence has 3 games with multiple interceptions already this season.
The ACC in interceptions.
Yeah. What's he going to do in a big game? If they even play a big game. Hopefully they play a big game.
They won't.
They've got to beef up Clemson's schedule. Next few years they play LSU. Boy, we are tearing them up. We're tearing them up over the next couple years.
Maybe.
If we get a good quarterback.
I was about to say, it depends on who y'all's quarterback's going to be.
But yeah, we got the LSU versus Auburn game, Ohio State versus Wisconsin, and the last big game we'll mention real quick, Michigan-Notre Dame at Michigan. So give me Michigan beating Notre Dame, knocking Notre Dame out the top 10. What do you think?
I like Michigan to win, but
at home. Michigan got a tough schedule this year, dude.
They did kind of get fucked.
Big time. Wisconsin, Penn State, and Notre Dame back-to-back weeks, 3 top 10 teams.
Damn, they did.
Yeah, they got hammered, bro.
They're going to beat Notre Dame this week. Ohio State's going to destroy Wisconsin, in my opinion. And LSU's going to roll, just like we said.
So who's your top 4?
LSU 1, Ohio State 2, Bama 3, Clemson 4, just because they haven't lost yet.
And they're not going to lose most likely.
Yeah, they're going to be undefeated. OU and Penn State are hanging around at 5 and 6, just kind of chilling there. They got to win their conference. They have to be undefeated and win their conference.
So my number 4 is actually, I didn't say it a minute ago, after Ohio State at 3, kicking Clemson to the curb for OU.
Yeah, you did say that.
Well, OU's who I'm going with. I think they do run the table out there in the Big 12. Easy competition. They got the tough games at home. As long as they can win the conference championship versus Baylor. If they beat Baylor in the conference championship, they're going to win.
They're going to smash Baylor.
What if Baylor upset?
Come on.
That is true. Come on. And that's really it for college football and sports in general. This weekend in UFC, we have a decent fight. Ben Askren's getting back into the win column. I think he's going to be fighting Damian Maia for UFC Fight Night. Y'all go check it out. We'll see everybody next week. Y'all like, subscribe on YouTube, Facebook, Legends Never Die Podcast 1, SoundCloud, Spotify. Check us out everywhere, and we'll see everyone next time. Black and white. Oh, oh.
Just black and white love. No more, baby. Love. No more, baby. Black and white. No more, baby. Love. No more, baby. Just black and white. Just let me go. It's only right. For all I know, it's only matter. It's calico. It's black and white.